build of this light was the first video I posted 2 years ago, and you are watching the 50th video since then. This channel shares my joy in the process of building things. I have these builds organized into playlists by topic as they span several different niches. At 50 videos, I asked myself, why am I doing this? Hey, welcome to Outbuilding. Today I'm going to spend some time reflecting on the videos that I've done so far and try to give you a little bit of idea where I'm headed with them. So this will be my 50th video. When I started, I really just kind of threw up a camera, got in here, I actually built the light that's lighting this scene that I showed you in the intro, and I just got started. And that video I look back at now and I kind of laugh at it. But it's also pretty instructive to see how much has changed and how much I've learned in that time. And I've learned about making videos, but I've also learned a lot about myself. You know, it's tough to get in front of a camera. I'm not comfortable with it, and I get better at it as I do it more often. And also just trying to learn how to tell stories about something you care about. In my case, I love building things. So this video is about building this channel. So let's get started talking a little bit about the process of making videos as I've seen it. Maybe a good way to start with that is the fact that when I look back at the 50 videos I've done so far, it's interesting to me which ones have done really well. And one of the very best videos in terms of just popularity and viewership was one I did when I fixed my dryer. We have a dryer and it gets stuck with lint, and I figured out how to clean it out, and I did a video that was very instructive. It's not the best quality. It's one of the earliest videos I did. I shot it with my phone. The audio is terrible, and yet that has got more views than any other video I've done. Some of the other videos I did, like the rolling fence video, which was an hour-long video, and it's a huge project, and it was a lot of fun to build, and I thought there was cool camera angles and everything. It just totally flatlined. Almost nobody watched it. That's just the nature of things. I can't look at a thumbnail and tell you whether it's going to be the most popular, and I can't watch one of my own videos and say that's going to be the one that people like and that's the one that's not. And that's one of the things that's really fun about doing this, is when I put up the videos and look at them over time, I'm learning what things people are interested in and how to connect with people about the things that I'm trying to do that I find interesting. And the projects I build, I often don't know where it's going to go, and I don't know how I'm going to do it. And so it takes a certain kind of viewer to sit and go through and watch me stumble and do the steps. And I don't try to collapse that strictly into a short that just shows you the aha moment when you get it done. I know that's the most gratifying, and that's what YouTube sort of thrives on, is those quick pops. But I think sometimes the process and being a little bit more deliberate is also really instructive. And so my videos are not going to reach the largest audience, but I'm okay with that. I think the process is what's most interesting. So that's one of the things that I've learned, is to just kind of trust what I'm excited about. I'll be able to keep doing those over and over and over again. And as long as I'm fueled doing it, I will find that audience, and I'm finding that audience in the people that have subscribed and that are watching the videos regularly. So thanks to those people that are watching, and I look forward to showing you more fun stuff. Another thing that you see when you watch videos advising things is to say, find your niche. And it's really interesting, because they say, find a niche that is something you're interested in, then go look and see if it's popular. And if it's popular and it's getting a whole lot of views, watch the videos and then emulate those. And to me, that just sounds sort of like, I don't know, copycat or mob behavior. Like if something's succeeding, go do it. I've always been the one that sort of goes and tries something different over in the corner that maybe nobody's doing. And you have a big risk and reward with that. Like if you happen to do something novel that nobody was thinking about doing and it becomes popular, that's great. But it also may be something that nobody ever pays attention to because they're all over looking at the shiny object over here. The videos that I'm doing they're really varied. I mean, I've got tractor videos and I've got forestry videos and workshop videos here. To some algorithms, that's probably really frustrating, because they're like, we can't define your niche. But from what I understand, YouTube really looks at it on a per video level. And so even though my channel might have all those different things and I'm categorizing them by playlist, the algorithm really just looks at how does that video stack up against its associated things. And they try to find out what the niche of that video is, not necessarily your channel. So I'm comfortable having a channel that is kind of all over the map, and I have the master plan of how those things work together. And if you watch the videos, you might start seeing the little trailer that I build in this garage out of the coast, moving things around. And you'll eventually see some of the components of the other things that we're working on fit into that. And we're going to use the workshop build here to build the cabinetry, for instance. Those are all things that are part of this master plan that doesn't reveal itself right away. I'm excited in a year I'll be able to share a wide range of videos, and you'll start to be able to look back and sort of thread that. You can do a video about the current political crisis or the current economic or airplane crash or something, and you'll get a lot of views because that's really timely. But that's not going to last. I think some of the videos, like my dryer video, seems to be just as popular today as it was the first day I published it, because the same number of people have dryers that are giving them the same error code and looking for the same thing and searching and finding it. I think some of this master plan will be much easier to get your head around once you start seeing the kind of final result and then backing out, oh, that's where that thing fit in, or that's how that piece was done. And that's kind of fun because these projects happen at different rates. The Coast project is going to take several years. We've got a van that we're going to be using for part of that project, and then hopefully using that later on. And that we don't even have that van. It's going to be in this room, but it's not here yet. And so that's going to be part of the project upcoming. And so we'll do a van build, and that van will be used in different ways. It'll be both a sort of utility vehicle to start with, and then possibly more of a camping van later. All of that stuff's going to be really fun, but you're not going to be able to just go to the channel and say, this is the channel that does Lego figurines or something that's really super specific. So I'm nicheless, and I'm okay with that. So what are some good things that I've learned for myself about doing videos? One of them is that I've come up with this sort of weekly pattern that works well for me, and I can kind of fit that in now with my schedule. I seem to be able to put together a video about once a week and be able to kind of make them current and meaningful. And so that's working well for me. But it does push me a little bit because, like, for instance, this video is on the 50th, this is the 50th video, and I've got a couple other ones I'm really excited to show you, and I actually would rather go and edit because they're really fun. But I want to get this one out sequentially at the 50th video. So that's driving me to do that and get that done. And that's good. It kind of pushes me to be more productive in that way. One of the drawbacks of that is that I sometimes struggle, like I'll have 5 videos that are really good and are kind of stacked up, and I'm working on the editing of those and having fun doing that. And then I'll get to a point where I'm like, wow, I don't have anything shot, and I'm waiting on, an engineer for something and permitting for something, and so I can't really move forward. And I'm stuck, or the weather's bad and I can't get out and do the project I wanted to do. So it's nice to have a few videos stacked up, and I can kind of relate them to one another. And I like to be, and in a perfect world, I've got 2 or 3 that I'm kind of currently working on, and then I can kind of pick them out as I complete them and publish them, and that's been working well for me. So there's probably several kinds of viewers, and I'm interested. I talk to my mother, for instance, who can't get around as easily these days, and she is grateful to have those videos because she gets to go and kind of be in the places that I'm working and do some things, and she can get there, but it's just not as convenient for her. So that's great to have family and friends, and it's a way to sort of stay in touch with them. There's an outer circle of people that are associates of mine, or people I know in town or something, and they've been really supportive in watching, and like surprisingly supportive. Like they have fun watching them, I hope, and at least they're nice enough to tell me about them and stuff. So that's really fun. But the ones I'm really excited about are people someday maybe I'll meet, but I haven't met, and I know that are located around the globe, and they're tuning in, and maybe they're curious about the Oregon coast, or American culture, or some old 58-year-old guy wandering around the woods, or whatever it is that they're finding compelling. They're starting to subscribe and to like the videos and do things. And like I said, there's some people that comment and they're productive, and some people are less productive with their comments, but even just weighing in and just having an opinion about the videos is super helpful. I know everybody always says like, subscribe, and share, but I kind of mean it. Like if you subscribe, I know that is something that you're interested in seeing more of, and that really helps me it fuels me to kind of go make those. If you like a particular video, that's actually really, really helpful for the YouTube algorithm, from what I understand. And it also just lets me, if I see one that's got a disproportionate number of likes, then I know what people are interested in, and I can try to say, why did that content work better? And then share it. Like the algorithm is only so good at putting videos in front of some people. But if you see a video about a topic that you find compelling or something, share it with somebody you know, or somebody who you think might benefit from that, because the algorithm can't always make those associations. And the algorithm it's computer code, but it's also behavior of people. And behavior of people, as we know right now, tends to be sort of looking for extremes, and also really kind of mob behavior. Everybody gets fired up about one thing, and then it goes on to another thing. And so some of that word of mouth that goes on under the radar is really helpful. So sharing, liking, and subscribing, they really do help. So if you do that, thank you. So if you're pretty new to doing videos, and like me, you kind of stress out to build them, and then you spend a lot of time and try to get it really right, and you push it up there, and then you sort of desperately watch to see what sort of reception it gets. Trust me that even after 50 videos, you'll still be working hard on that, but you'll also develop a rhythm. And like I said, I've found a rhythm with weekly videos that gives me enough time in between to get some other things done and to just not do that for a couple days. But then I'm compelled to kind of keep cranking those things out and kind of come up, sort of chart that out in my mind of like what's a short-term project and what's a long-term project and how do I slot those in. But I'm finding that then I have, within that week, I have a day that I kind of work on thumbnails and a day I review the video, and then there's a day I just put it away and don't look at it so that when I come back, I kind of get an impression of that edit that I've done. And editing takes, as you know from doing videos, it takes me far longer than the projects or the shooting of the video. It just takes a long time to get that done, and maybe I'll get better at that. There's some quick keys and some things you can learn muscle memory-wise. But in general, just the habituated process of doing one once a week and having kind of what I do on Monday and what I do on Wednesday, that has made it much easier to kind of crank through these. And I used to be a distance runner, and I found that once I got a rhythm of my training and I knew I had my long run on Sunday and I did a workout on Tuesday or whatever, I kind of got to know that schedule, and that kind of built in, and it became kind of automatic, and I was able to like run incredible numbers of miles without putting a ton of mental energy into it. I could just kind of get and that's what I'm starting to see with videos. So if you're new, stick with it. It's a marathon. Keep training, and just you'll get stronger at it. You'll get more comfortable with it, and that habituation will make it much easier. So is there any money in doing videos? I don't know. I haven't made any yet. I did have one vendor that I asked for. It was a tool it was a stump grinder from Baumolite that I got for the tractor, and that was actually given to me to do video production for them and give them some information back. And I really appreciate that. That was exciting to do. And interestingly, that was sort of negatively received by some of the people that watched the videos. And I don't know if it's because I presented it poorly or just they weren't down with that. But right now, I don't have enough subscribers to make money on YouTube, and I think if I do, I'll just turn that money around. I don't know how much that would be, but I will, if that should happen, I will pour that money back into the projects I'm working on and also some of the equipment, because I'm doing this with pretty minimal equipment, and you certainly use better cameras and other things to sort of make the video quality better. But it's nice to not look at it as my job. Like I don't need to get the videos out. So when they come out, it's because I want them to come out, and it's because it's something I want to share. I would hate to say, to feel like I've got to create a certain amount of content and I've got to maintain that and I've got to be super enthusiastic or whatever because I'm trying to, get enough to live on to do that. I'm fortunate enough to have done well with some of the work I did in the past. And I was able to coach, for instance, which does not make a lot of money, but I really, really enjoyed it. And it was a way I could sort of interact with a whole group of people and give back to a sport that I really liked. That was nice to do. And I've retired from that. So now I can spend some time doing these videos, doing some really cool projects. And most of the time, the projects I'm doing are themselves, like, for instance, if we build a cabin and turn around and sell it, it's going to be worth, quite a bit. And so it's going to be its own income stream perhaps someday, but it's really not the motivator. And so it's nice to not have the motivation of having to make a certain amount of videos or a certain amount of views or subscriptions to support myself. And there are people that do that, and that's wonderful for them. And if it ever grows to that for me, it'll be an interesting quandary to sort of say, I don't want that to start, like that financial choice to start steering how I make my choices for videos. I think there's an opportunity, because I do a lot of things with equipment, and whether that's a tractor or tools in the workshop or something, there's an opportunity to review and sort of either promote or discourage people from using certain kinds of tools. And so I'll never turn away a tool or an opportunity to do that, as long as it's something that I can be completely frank and honest about and share my honest thoughts. I don't want to shill a product or a nutritional supplement that I don't use or that I'm not even compelled to use. I suppose if somebody comes and offers me, a supplement, I might try it, but I'd have to really be impressed by it before I'd even consider trying to sell that or promote that thing on my videos. It's just not what I'm doing. I'm trying to promote the joy of doing these projects. And I'm hoping that somebody watching it will themselves feel compelled because they see some old guy doing it that doesn't know what he's doing, but learning how to do it. I'm hoping that compels people to go clean their own dryer vent, to build something, to go out and cut down a tree or plant a tree and learn how to do seedlings, that sort of thing. That's really what I hope to go with this stuff. So at the beginning of this video, I said, why am I doing this? And I think I'm doing this because I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And so I look forward to the next year. I will hopefully get better at it. I look back at the very first video I did or the first few, and I'm like, wow, it has definitely gotten better. I hope the projects continue to be interesting for people. But I hope I also get better at telling stories, because I think sometimes the projects are actually really, really cool, but I get down in the weeds or doing something, or I don't present it as clearly. And so I'm going to try to get better at doing that so that you can kind of share the excitement I have for some of these projects that we're going. And some of them aren't that exciting. Cleaning the dryer isn't that exciting. But a how-to video, when I know how to do something and I can share that with you, that's great and useful. A video of me building something I've never built before, I'm hoping that that's kind of exciting to see that process of discovery, because when I'm done, I can tell you how either I did it well or didn't do it well. But it's not a how-to video, it's how I'm doing it video. I'm looking forward to the year to come. I won't do this necessarily at the year. It might be at some other interval, like if I hit 1,000 subscribers, or if I get to the 3-year anniversary or something like that. But I'll put out a video like this every once in a while and reflect a little bit and also say where it's going. But again, I want to really thank those people that made it to this point in the video, and that have if you've subscribed and watched, or if you've seen other videos and you were compelled to see this, thank you very much for doing that. And if you just came to this video because you're interested in about YouTube creators, maybe take a look at a couple of my other videos and comment on them. It would be helpful to get another creator's impression of somebody who dropped into this, not because they were interested in tractors, but because they wanted to hear about my experience building videos. So another building video, this time for video channels, and I look forward to seeing you. But until I do, I'll be out building.